Hey guys, welcome to day 3, part 3 of me repairing this Nissan Rogue from its accident. Obviously, you've seen in the previous episode that this here was straightened out. This was like bashed in, and as you can see, it's still got some crinks and stuff like that, but we got it as good as we can, for what we need to. It is looking nice and straight. All of this stuff was straightened out, that's straightened out. And at night, when I actually was working last night, I got this pulled out as much as I could, but you could see that this is still at a slight angle, not a huge angle, but it is at an angle, one of the motor mounts. And same thing goes for this one. With a fish effect, it might look a little bit even more defected. I'm not really sure, but it does need to come out a little bit more. But when I'm looking at it, it's really hard to say that it does need to come out more, but my eye does see it that it does need to come out a little bit more. So anyways, in the last episode, I do need to address something. When I initially pulled out this piece here and pulled it out somewhat, I then attached the radiator support, which it attached just fine. This stuff wasn't lining up. And as you can see, it is lining up right now. So this is the very important thing that I'm getting ready to say. As you can see, things are lining up. Now, here's one thing that I wasn't buying when I started installing this radiator support. The fact that this here wasn't lining up, because this is completely straight here. It should have at least lined up over here just fine. It could have been off over here somewhat. That would be understandable. But the fact is, with everything, the way it's been shifted out towards this way, wasn't really buying that. And now you can see why. As a matter of fact, after straightening it out last night, I still tried to attach it, and it was still slightly off. But you could see that it's attached. So how did I actually attach it? Well, I will tell you. The strongest point is going to be here. The weakest point is going to be here. Why is that important? Well, when I lined up these 4 bolt patterns, they matched. So I went ahead and actually attached them. But this here was still not lining up. This needed to come forward a little bit. I really needed to kind of like pull this in. Once I pulled this in, with some effort, I needed to pull it in. I was able to bolt this pattern in. Same thing for this. I really needed to kind of like, it was actually kind of like more closer over here. I needed to kind of like pull it out, in order for attaching this. How did I do that, the pulling out part? Well, I use my straps. As you can see, there's a strap that's hanging. This is regular cargo straps. So I basically hooked them up where I needed to. Like I hooked it up in these points, and I kind of pulled things together just by ratcheting it up, because it's 2,000-pound straps. With this one, wasn't that bad. I just simply kind of like pulled it, and I installed one of the bolts, and really quickly got one of them in with my hammer drill. So then this is where we at. This is how we got to this. Guys, let's begin actually working on and what I want to do right now is get a strap around this. Let's see, like one of these. So guys, I do got some tension on it right now, not too much, because I wanted to show you where we at before we start. I'm gonna be pulling it, and you could kind of see the results. You see it's coming a little closer, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this, at least my idea for it. You could kind of see the bolts are now lining up, especially that one. Now, the reason I'm doing it, like once I'm going to be start bending and things, bending things out, it should naturally start falling into this form. I'm going to give it a few more pulls. Look at that. This is kind of like my secret. I'm pretty sure everybody that's in body work, they have their own ways of doing stuff, and I have my own ways of doing it. I'm seeing things that I'm seeing and working with. I could definitely tell this is slightly raised. This is slightly lowered. I'm not sure what the correct position is. Most likely it's supposed to be straight, but that's going to be according to the headlights when they're going to be hooking up. So Now we're gonna do some old-fashioned hammer work. As you can see, as I'm bending this away, this is actually becoming straight, and that's leaning in a little bit, and that's what we need. So it's looking a little bit better now. This is almost laying down where it needs to be. So good. I kind of like where this is going. It's definitely looking a whole lot better. Now I'm kind of wondering over here whether, because this bolt is locked, it's not completely shifting. So let's see what's gonna happen once I loosen that up a little bit. Oh, need to move, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually install one bolt just slightly, and this one we're gonna slightly disassemble. I'm going to give it another pull, and let's see, I'm gonna slightly disassemble these. So let's see. See where we're at. Yeah, things are lining up a whole lot better, much better. Now, one thing I need to do is go ahead and actually straighten this out. So I'm going to take just some old-fashioned pliers. These are more like for electric, and just gonna grab it like this. It's not really working that great, but at the same time, you know, it's okay. It is what it is. So that's fine. Like, it don't have to be perfect, but I am happy with the way this is looking now. It's a little bit more straight. Now this needs to come in a little bit. Okay, let's see what else we notice here. So I'm going to be installing this. This is gonna go on next. But when I do remove all these bolts, my concern is that it's going to shift and move. So what I need to do is possibly find another place where I could mount this so that it could, you know, stay the same. I'm going to think of something. I'll let you guys know, because I gotta pull all of these out and go ahead and actually install this bumper and basically start working. I need to do two things. I need to bring this metal a little closer. You don't need to be too close, but it needs to be close enough, and I kind of need to hold it together. So one of my solutions will be just doing this here. I'm just going to come underneath. Possibly won't be enough ratcheting room, so it's okay. So for now I just want to keep it together, but for the next one I need to grab it like this and pull it towards the back. But right now things are close. I just want to keep things the way they are, so I want to just keep things here. So I'm gonna go around and let's see, hook this onto this chain. Just gotta make it tight. Really don't have to do all that with time, but I'm hoping that as I'm ratcheting it up, it, you know, makes it stick closer together, and that's actually what it's doing. So success as far as that goes. I achieved what I needed to achieve, and hopefully this strap is low enough, and it is, for me to hook this up onto. Oh, I just found one little interesting thing. There's that metal piece and that one right there, so there's no way to really mess this thing up. This is the way down, so it's going to be on correctly. So now I need to go ahead and actually pull these bolts out. In fact, I think it was just number 12 instead of 13. So we're all good here. This is now a big gap here, and you could definitely push on it. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but the thing I don't like, it's actually when I push it, it's becoming slightly higher, and it's already low enough as it is. I believe this actually needs to come down some, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the rest of the bolts, and we'll see where we're at. So that just moved up a little, and that moves up a lot, so not good. I may have to get something attached over here to where it keeps it from doing that. Oh wow, these things, oh no, never mind, that's part of that. No, that's too much of an angle. Okay, so what I need to do now is have a way to actually pull things down. Well, actually guys, I do have another strap, but I kind of figured, you know what, why not just go ahead and actually remove all the straps, see where everything goes, and you know, possibly everything's going to get into a place where it needs to be anyways. You know, that's close enough right there, so I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this strap up. So with that, we could see how this is already aligning. So as I dropped it, look, it actually dropped right back into place. So it looks like I had, you know, a lot of tension, and it definitely, you know, worked and stuff. So I think I just need to bring a little bit more tension here. I think when I banged it out of the side, it actually caused things to go a little closer. So I like what I'm seeing now. This pretty much moves by hand now. You know, it's not bad at all. And things are like right in the money. Like, that's good. So with this one, I'm okay with. We'll leave that where it is. And so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and start reattaching this bumper. We're gonna hang it on these metal pieces. And I'm not sure if these things are long enough, but let's see. So that seems like it's going pretty good. This seems okay for the length. It's not long enough. So that's good, you know, that's kind of coming in closer. I believe for some of these other stuff, I may have to take a hammer to it and knock it in a little bit more. Not really sure. Maybe they do take longer bolts. That seemed like it pulled things together. So actually, yeah, that's good over there. I'm gonna go ahead and put another one in. That's not working out. They're all about the same. Bolts. We do have 3 bolts there. I'm really happy with that. So I think the very next thing we got to work on is getting this thing in shape. And from what it looks like, it seems like this needs to be a lot straighter than it is, and it's not. So this might be giving me some problems, but I could definitely take a piece of wood and try straightening it some. But one of the ways I could do it is also just use a strap and pull it in closer. So let's see what happens once I release the tension. Well, actually I don't have a lot of tension to begin with. So from what I could tell, that bolt is slightly angled. That's really not helping things. And this is not something I did, but it needs to go higher. We could also use this to adjust it. But what I think I need to do right now is go ahead and start pulling on that side. See if I could get it close enough. Okay, let's see what happens. What I basically need to do is hook up until, you know, that piece, and actually try to pull it. So we're all good here, but this next piece I'm going to go ahead and remove. And I have one more strap if I need to apply a tension in a different direction. You know, things are almost lining up. That bolt I can't really use because there's nothing in the back for me to grab onto. So I do need to pull on this piece that way. I'm thinking I may have to use it together here so that it can possibly align things a little bit better. I could pull just the radiator support and that would do the trick, but I'm hoping that if I pull it like this, it will pull things together where they need to be, causing these two metals to be a lot closer to each other. We'll see if that works. So I have another ratchet right here. I actually need pressure to be applied at a different angle, so kind of need to get things over here. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's actually correct. So my theory was correct that it will bring things a little bit into the closer alignment. However, it's bending that piece, and I really don't care too much about that. But because it's pushing on this, it's getting it closer. I'm not achieving what I want to achieve. This is not the results I'm looking for. Did I bend that metal? Look how strong this stuff is. I think I just bent that metal right there. Okay, let's loosen things up. Okay, I see. All right, so I know what I need to do. I need to do the same thing, except just pull the radiator support, and I only need to pull it a little bit. I don't need to pull it that much. And this time I'm going to go behind the radiator support piece, because I'm just trying to have something that will pull on it. So I just need a little bit. So let's see how that does. A little more. It's almost lining things up. That's almost lined up. I could put a bolt in that one. I don't know, that's not on, that's definitely not on. I was gonna just loosen it a little bit, but instead I untighten it. Oh, it's not grabbing this time. It's not good. Man, what's going on? Actually, that needs to come a little closer. That's why it's not grabbing. Thing about it is, there's this does need to come a little closer. But I would like to put one bolt there at least. And I already had it too bad I took it off. I think it's just stripped a little bit on that side. I went through the back and I'm threading in another bolt. This is actually from a Mercedes Sprinter. Came out from somewhere, but I'm trying to see if I could actually get it far enough and just put a bolt on it on that side. We'll see. So this is what it looks like with me threading that bolt through there. I mean, the reason I'm trying it over here is I'm thinking about doing something for this area because it's missing, but it is the same type of bolt. So basically I'm just gonna remove it and see if I could use this instead. I think it's slightly long. So now I'm just gonna try to thread this from this side. I probably should use some kind of washer for this, but I think we might be okay. You know, that's an E socket or a number 10. So we do have like a number 10 right here. No, that's not gonna work. Good thing I can at least install some kind of bolt. So in this case, I'm just going to use this one, and I want to see if I could get it nice and tight. For some reason, the original bolt wasn't threading that good, and it's because the thread starts at the wrong place. I'll show you what I mean. I don't want to do too much because I might strip it. See, there's no thread here, and I really needed just that little bit to get it threaded. Now that I got it this far, I'm wondering if I could get this a little closer. But with things tied up the way they are, I could probably remove the strap, grab them together, and do a little pull on it, and you know, see where that goes. But before I do that, I would like to, at the very least, have something in that area. I have all this sprinter stuff, all these bolts. So let's see if we could find an appropriate bolt in this pile. And this actually would work. And this is a Mercedes part, that's a Nissan part. So let's see if we could find a shorter bolt like this. You know, this is way too small. This one, I think this actually will work pretty well. This is bent over here a little bit in that area, but I'm thinking if I'm going to put on these bolts and I'm going to get it tight enough, it should, you know, possibly straighten things out. Hoping anyways. I'm not using any wrench over here, but let's see if this will work. It worked better than I thought. It brought these things down really close. So now I'm possibly going to be able to reach that with the original bolt. Let's see. I mean, this is at an angle here, so I really can't get my tool in here. So it's somewhat threading, not quite, but this thing is kind of bent. It's probably it's not original design for it to be bent in this way. I think for this situation I could just grab these two metals and see if I could make them get closer. This one bolt, it's got a washer on it. Let's see if we could use that instead. I don't know if it's a number 13, but we'll try. Okay, so that's in. Now I gotta find a washer for this one. Another bolt, very similar. So we're just gonna put that here. So I think this will actually help pull things together how we need to. Yeah, definitely worked. This is still not close how I want it. This is why we can't reach that other hole. But at least we got these three lined up. But that other one doesn't line up. So I want to put this third one in, and then we'll worry about the bottom. Tighten up this strap again, and then I found this bolt. It's pretty long, and this is good because we have a big hole over here. So I'm wondering if I could get this in alignment, but it seems like it's in an angle. So I want to see if I could just take a hammer and fix that. Not enough area for me to do that, but I think we got it. somewhat got it, so maybe my torque can grab it. Yeah, you see, it's pulling things together right with the design. The only thing is I gotta pull my strap out. Before it chews it up, I can't even move it. All right, that's a save. Perfect. So now that's in there. So this is just a different way of doing it, guys. I'm sure some of you pros out there that's doing it, you're like, oh no. But hey, I think when you've been doing this long enough, you might think just do whatever works. But one thing for sure is, we know once all the bolts are attached, then you could start, you know, fine-tuning things, because I could very easily, you know, pull this down, straighten it out. If we're having like bad angles, I could already tell that this is slightly raised, this is slightly lowered. I could see a bend here, and I could see a bend there. So this definitely been straightened out before, and last time I was straightening out this, and you've seen how much it has improved. We still probably have to, you know, do some fine-tuning, some pulling, but hey, this is gonna be behind a bumper anyways. All of this stuff is hidden. I think as long as you have everything together, and right now what it looks to be is everything's pretty much together. We got to put another bolt right there. I got to straighten that piece out because I bent it. I'm gonna put another bolt right there. Yeah, seems like this is definitely working out. So gonna go ahead and put a bolt in this one. So we're good there. So I'm gonna put another one there in the body, and let's see what we have on this side. So I really can't see behind all of these poles. I do gotta find something that's gonna work in that one. I'm not sure if one of these will or not, if this is far enough. Definitely it's not working, so I gotta find something that's like this. I mean, this will work. I gotta get a washer on it though. I mean, this situation, the washer is not gonna be that of importance, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put something in that hole. I'm gonna look for another one. I have an e-socket nearby, so I'm using I just used what I have, and that looks pretty good. It's pretty much a number 10 or 3/8. So that is good. I definitely like what I'm seeing. I will have to find a solution for this. I do have it. It's this and that bolt. I just gotta find a washer that works. Hey guys, my son found me this washer, which is not a washer, but we're going to go ahead and use it anyways. This is bent, and there is no room to really straighten this out. There's just really no room. So let's see if I could do some straightening. Well, it did something, but not too much. We don't really need much more than that. So put this washer. This washer is actually going to sink inside of the hole with like that. This is not your standard washer, but this is going to work for this. So this is a number 13. So I gotta change up my sockets.
Hey, Dad. I found a washer, Dad. I found a washer.
Oh, good. Yeah, but I don't need it anymore. That was the only one I needed. Thank you so much for finding out for me. So, gotta grab that from the back. Number 14. As you can see, I came together nicely. So I understand that, you know, from what I'm doing, it might not follow the, you know, right rules and procedures for doing this. But at the same time, I'm working with a bent bumper, I'm working with a bent radiator support, and I'm working with a bent front end that's been hit this way. It's been twisted. So this is actually the same set that came off the other Nissan Rogue. Everything that was on this one, it was so smashed. I'll link up a video how it looked like prior to me taking it apart. It was just a time lapse, but still. So I may have to still find tweak things. I could definitely tell this is higher, this is slightly lower. It might need to shift a little bit down like that. It might still need to come out, but that's okay, because now with everything connected, I could make that happen. If I need to go ahead and hook this up to the front of the tree or something, pull this out, I could do that. If I need to pull it down, I could do that. I could now grab this whole area together and I could just, you know, pull that. But for the most part, we are looking at an assembled front end here. And fine tweaking is fine tweaking. We could get that done. So, but I'm definitely liking what I see, guys. It's definitely a lot better. So I'm gonna try to do is get some of these wires out of the way. Just get them over here. So if I start it up again, I will not damage it, because we do have a belt here. Guys, when I bought it, this car was not even starting, so that's why I went for $750. It's smashed and not starting, so seemed like a lot of risk. But I was buying it for parts, so no risk for me, only reward. You can tell anything wrong with it, you know, with the way it was smashed. It just looked like really bad. But once I pulled everything off, you could clearly see the stuff that was bad. It was the radiator support. It was just like really bad. But as long as you have another car that you're working with, you could just pull that stuff off, and it saves you money, because you really don't know what you need, because everything's sold in pieces. Like that's one piece, that's another piece, that's another piece. You got a lower piece, you got another lower piece, you got another piece right there, then you got this bumper, and you got that piece. So it's a lot of different components, and once you start buying everything pieces, just kind of really add up and cost a lot of money, and you might go over your budget for the project. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and separate this, and with everything kind of like separated, I'll be able to tell a little bit more at what's going on. And I definitely want to replace some other bolts that needs to be replaced. Here's a rubber piece from here. It's for the radiator. So seems like this radiator support does need to get pulled that way a little bit, so that these holes line up. They're not lining up right now. So we'll just basically keep doing that. So we just need this. We need a strap right here. And I could just do the same thing. I could just come on this side. Come on that side and just pull it. The only thing I don't like is the stuff is going to get right in my way, and I won't be able to really do much. So I'm going to have to control this somehow.
can't go grab it right there. Here's a Nissan. You can sometimes you can see through here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we have. So definitely gotta move it some more. And more. Surprising how these straps, they're super tough. Seems like it's really not doing much. Because stuff is bolted down there, it just really has no room to really go anywhere. So most likely that means things will possibly need to come down a little bit. Yeah, it's still not lining up. Let's see if we could force it. Nope. Nope. And it does seem like this is slightly off, like that's the problem here. Like that needs to be taken out. Let's see if this is on number 10. Because I could definitely tell that this is shifted. So it might be old-fashioned problem. Yeah, like seems like metal needs to come out this way, because this is sitting in the proper place. This one's not. So I have an idea. I need to route this behind. That's still not where I want it to be. And this does seem... I put in a couple more bolts. Let me see if the originals will fit. So that original did fit. In case they don't, I have some non-originals that should. So that don't fit. So let's try and see if this will fit. Oh, why doesn't this fit? That's beyond me. Let's see if I could put a longer one. What's going on here? Interesting. That doesn't work too well. So it looks like I shaved these down the same way the originals are. It's not working too well. Well, that's fine. If that's not gonna work, I could just put a self-tapping screw in that one. What I'm wondering is there any tread left? It appears to be okay, so what I might do is go from the back and create like a bolt pattern. So I'll just do that. Let me see if this is correct stuff. So I got a wrench on it from the back. I will probably find the reason why it wasn't going in, because it seems like it's at an angle. At an angle, so it's just telling me that that piece in the back, it's actually slightly bent. So I need to straighten it out. It would work getting my breaker bar in there. It does work. But there's just no room. So let me tap it some inside. Wow, that's not good. It's coming out little by little, believe it or not. So I think the way things are, I could pull that bolt out and I could try going from the front. Alright, so now that straightened things out. Pull things in. There is another one that's actually over here and it's not going in. It's okay though, because I got a trick for that. So we're just gonna use this. And that's what we're gonna do. Like that. So now we can try installing this one. Oh, that's actually not original. I don't want that one. this one. That's what I want. Oh, that one's damaged. Did I run out of bolts? These are not originals back there. So that's not working too well. Wonder if I strip the threads. That bolt is at an angle. I can't really get it with that. Let's see if I could get it with my breaker bar. And it's actually too much of a wrong angle. Like I have to get in there and kind of twist it. So let's see if I could do that with these. It's probably going to be difficult. It's hard to twist it over. Okay, I was able to do it with that one. Now the question is, can I install a bolt in it? Let's figure that out. Okay, that's not working. I'll just use that one. Non-original, but it worked. So we have all these bolts in place. Now I have to do one more right there. Let's see if we could put one of the originals back. That seems like it grabbed it. No, it did not. All right, so what I want to do now is install this. And I want to remove that strap. My strap looked like it's pinched. If it is, I gotta wait to pull it out. Oh, I could get it. All right, guys, let's do final inspection and see where we're at. Let's observe. 4 of those bolts are on. All of these bolts are on. Those bolts are on. These bolts are on. So we're good. Now we could attempt to either start assembling stuff, or we could go further and see what needs to be fixing. Here's what I could see. I could see that this is slightly raised. That's slightly lowered. Question is, which one is more correct? I actually think this is correct and that's not correct, but I could be wrong. This might be actually lifted. So I don't know. One way to find out is start installing stuff, and we'll see how things line up. Okay guys, I moved my car for the change of scenery, plus it's on a level ground. I'll be able to tell a little bit at like what's going on and try to straighten things out. I can see that this is slightly raised, and it is apparent over here, so I just need to make sure that it's going to be correctly, just like it's here. It's nice and straight. So for this, I'm just going to, you know, simply tap it down with a piece of 2x4, place it on top. And also it might look like it's not straight, you know, due to some of these creases here, but it does need to be a little bit tapped in, and I think that's going to drop it down a little bit. And from then on, if this is lower than it's supposed to be, I could simply tap it down. If this is too low, I could, you know, raise it up. Now raising it up, it's going to be easy. I do have like the same type of you know, power type of tool that's hydraulic. It will go at the bottom and it will basically push it up. So that's going to be the easy part, pushing it up. Pushing it down, I mean, old-fashioned, you know, 2x4 and a hammer, you know, try to knock it down. But I'm only going to be doing that, you know, as necessary when I'm going to be aligning things, like the hood, the fenders, stuff like that, because I really don't know what needs to go where. This radiator support was on our other car and everything looked good when it was put together, but as you could see, I did a lot to even get it looking, you know, this way like it is. And even at that, it's not, you know, quite good. Plus I really don't know if this is supposed to be curved like that. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but this was damaged the way I got it, so you know, it is what it is. And actually this was leaning a little bit towards that way, and so was this. I could definitely tell that I can technically pull this a little bit more in. It's a little bit more apparent now that I'm standing on this type of ground. So if I hook up something on this side and pull it, this would, you know, fix that. But even if I don't do it, the bumper's still gonna go on fine. You can't really tell what's going on underneath the bumper. The most important thing is the fiddlement of all this stuff here. But this car starts well, drives well. I think it's going to be, you know, pretty nice to just try to fix everything. Well, anyways guys, you have reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching everything that I was working on, everything that I was doing, you know, all my commentary, and just being with me, even though, you know, I'm kind of like a noob at it, and I'm just doing everything from just observation and some critical thinking, and I'm using what I have, and I'm not worrying about what I don't have. So I think this is just a mentality of the do-it-yourselfer, which is, you know, pretty popular. Everybody's doing their DIY, you know, type of stuff. So I'm just trying to do my part in sharing what I'm doing. I do think that this is a fun project, and I already learned a lot just, you know, by doing this and the quarter panel job that we did last time. Now that I have at least, you know, some proper tools to do it. From what I could see, this here, it is slightly curved, you know, that way, but I can't really get it straight enough with the current stuff that I have. You know, you really got to do that on the frame, but it's really not important right now. But anyways guys, this is it for the video. It sounds like I'm really rambling right now, but I'm really excited at fixing this project, and I hope you guys like this video and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. God bless you. See you in the next video.
My name is Serge Zimaleta. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprinter, Expedite, or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.